is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
Go!
Yeah.
Go!
That's a normal situation.
It's the go team of the senior pros. Let the whole world hear our bugles blow. Stand up! Stampede! Go you Dallas Cowboys!
I think you're great. The go team of the senior pros.
That is not.
You know the history of that, why
Of
they
course.
call it the senior pros.
I know it, but let's hear it. Let's hear it for those.
Mickey,
that
you
do not
know why they called it the go team of the senior pros.
We've laughed about it for months, but we never did
it's
reiterate.
because-
back to the 60s.
It goes back to the 60s where college football was supreme in the state of Texas.
Oh, I think it is more of a reference to the AFL. The senior pros would be the NFL, right?
Okay.
Don't you think?
I don't know.
Because the National Football League they're the senior pros, and the AFL, the American Football League, was considered the junior pros. I think it just occurred to me that's probably why they called it
And
that.
when was this song made?
I think it's in the 60s, right? It's got to be in the 60s.
Well,
just
I
from the
will-
sound of
I
it.
bet we could look it up.
They were
just the-
still battling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
before the merger.
Before the merger.
Yeah, so you got a wide swath there of from 1960 to 1969, the competitive nature of it. And going
Well-
back to, of course, for those who aren't old enough to remember, the Kansas City Chiefs were the Dallas Texans.
Yes.
We had two professional football teams playing in the same stadium at the Cotton Bowl.
All I know, the reason I answered it that way was because when Frank Luxor was working at the paper in Fort Worth, I think it was the Fort Worth Press, and the Cowboys came into existence, and, you know, college football was it, right?
Yeah, it
Everybody
was
wanted
big.
to
It
cover
was huge.
college football, and Blackie Sherrod asked him, do you want to go over to Dallas and cover that pro team? It's like they didn't call them the Cowboys, that pro team, right? And you had to drive 30 minutes to go check it out, right? And Frank was like, well, yeah, because I think he was doing high schools and maybe got minor college stuff.
In fact, I bet you there were high school games. They got larger attendance
Sure.
than what
Oh,
the
especially in Texas.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Texas, no doubt about it.
And they only went once or twice a week, and then they went to the game at the Cotton Bowl.
Well, I would say right now the Hunt family is getting their revenge. I think they're trying to even things out here. I mean, we still have that America's team
Well, they
moniker,
didn't.
but
They didn't get kicked out of town. They got basically bought out because Kansas City promised them a stadium.
I don't think
of their
I
own.
don't think they wanted to leave.
So they promised them Arrowhead Stadium?
No, it wasn't Arrowhead. I don't
I'm
believe.
pretty sure.
But Arrowhead was
if
built
they
in
had a choice,
1970.
And they
wanted
paid
to
them.
stay.
And they paid them to come to Kansas
That's
City.
because they wanted to stay so badly.
Well-
hey, where's our Halloween stuff, man? Where's my candy? That's what I'm
I
looking
just
for.
put it up in the break room upstairs.
Oh, in your break room.
Well, it's not mine. It was
But
the one
you
upstairs.
frequent the one. You frequent that break room.
Why didn't you wait until after the show today
We
to do
talked
that?
about this yesterday, man.
What was that?
That we were going to keep everything and we were going to want the candy.
Oh, I didn't have that candy. I mean the candy we had left over at the house.
okay.
Because we had one
So we're
person
talking
ring
to
the
the wrong
doorbell.
person.
One person. And I had all that candy. It's like, get
So the
that
kids-
candy out of the house.
The mom and dad are bringing their kids through the neighborhood. No, that Mickey lives there. We're not going to that house. That's a scary house.
And that one person was an Amazon driver, and he was like, "Here, hey, just have one.
And
Don't
the
show that. There you go,
one-
buddy."
Take a Snickers,
The
man.
one
Mickey's house.
person,
That's the haunted house. The true
One
haunted house. We're
person-
not going to that house.
one person got 2 handfuls of candy. It's like, take all
Yeah, go
you
ahead,
want.
kid.
We don't need it in the house.
Hey, speaking of, I
like
went
the
to
Scrooge's house.
I went to a heavily whatever they posted a heavily viral house that was decorated. It was in the 024 area code.
Okay.
And man, It was crazy. It was traffic. There was a policeman there to control traffic. My daughter took a video of it. They just invaded this neighborhood. We all did. We were going to drive, and of course, it was so backed up that we parked and walked. We had to walk like a half a mile just to get to this house because
It's one house or a neighborhood that you were?
It was a neighborhood, but it was for this one house.
Okay.
And they had the purple light, the lavender glow to it. Done. I thought it was done professionally. I talked to the neighbor next door. She said no, it took them 30 days
to decorate
this house.
I saw one in Corinth. It was a corner lot. And I don't think I saw any grass because they had so much decorations out on the lawn and hanging and the skeletons. And I was like,
you're hanging the
seriously?
Same thing. Yes. Spider webs over the entire front of the yard. And so I talked to the neighbor. I'm like, man, what is this like? to just have your neighborhood taken over. She was out there giving out candy. She was sitting in front in her driveway. And people were coming by, the kids were coming. Man, there was so many families out there. The kids were so freaking cute in all their uniforms and their costumes. Man, I think that's the most interesting display I've seen of Halloween.
You know, it was such a great night too. I went to my one of my daughter's neighborhoods.
Kids were so cute. They were so cute.
Grandkids.
All the families. All the families out there.
Night. Yeah,
it was. Yeah. Good night.
And just to tell you, we didn't have any kids in the neighborhood.
No.
None. So it wasn't me.
Okay. Well, I tell you what.
I tell you what, Producer Supreme should have left this stuff up.
He should have.
Of all long it took to decorate like that.
He did a
That's
tremendous job.
Christmas, leave it up till the first of the year,
That's
right?
You don't take your Christmas lights down on the day after Christmas,
and
do you?
he did such a great job.
Right, yeah. Shout out to Producer Supreme.
Yeah, man.
We would leave
In
ours
fact, you
up.
needed to have it up all week.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Just like
maybe next year I'll think about that.
Just like there are so many who had their Christmas lights up in our neighborhood.
Good point, Bill. Good point.
Well, there was one that had our Christmas lights up like already October 15th.
Well, I was
actually turned them on.
I was proposing leaving them up year round. I lost that.
No,
well,
that's too much.
No, why?
That's too much. Yeah.
There was and this is getting off the beaten path here.
We've been way off the path, so you can go ahead.
In Omaha,
Mickey was determined to get us off the track.
I was in Omaha for the College World Series, and there was an Italian restaurant where Texas would go every year to eat as a team and everything. Across the street was a kind of a military affiliated base,
okay,
right? And the restaurant decorated for Christmas in the 40s and decided they were going to leave it up until the war ended and the guys came home.
Okay.
They decided that they had put up so much. This was 1985. the Christmas decorations were still up year-round. They said, no, we're not taking them down.
Well, I mean, if you got the lights on the house, I get that. But when you have other decorations.
No, I meant the lights on the house.
And I'm with you. I'm with you. But a lot of people, they'll take off partial. They'll take off partial lights.
Yeah.
Like kind of what we did. We took off the part that was around the house, but the foyer part, we just kind of left those lights.
There's a bar in Appleton, Wisconsin that did the same thing, decorated for Christmas and decided, we're leaving them up, or we'll just keep adding to it. Mm-hmm. And it's to this day still decorated for Christmas.
They can't be still adding to it.
Oh, yeah.
That's too much.
The ceiling's totally covered.
Exactly.
Well, are you done with all that? Can we now start talking about
who started it?
You did?
No,
I did.
He did with candy.
Okay, so I heard Jerry on the radio this morning.
Yes.
Did you listen to him?
Yeah, I did.
And just the way that interview ended, I'm thinking that there could be a trade on Tuesday. He left the door wide open.
He did.
For the first time for a trade on Tuesday.
Right. So what position would turn this team around?
It has to be up front. The trenches.
Defense?
The defense, because we've lost so many on the defensive side. We've lost 4 at least. We're just talking defensive line here, and we've lost 4. Yeah, about 4. Have we lost all 4?
Defensive ends.
That's it. Yeah, 4 defensive ends.
Anyway, I just thought it was interesting.
Or does somebody have a defensive tackle they want to unload? Or overpay to get?
Yeah, you're going to have to, bro. We're in dire straits here in regards to our personnel.
Okay, so what was your take from Jerry? What was the most newsworthy item coming out of Jerry's time on the Fan this morning?
Well, let me look at my notes that I
Okay. Wow, Mickey looks at his notes over there. One of the things, it sounded like it was news to the guys interviewing him on the ticket or on the Fan. The Trayvon Diggs has a tear in his calf, and of course we've known that all week. If we're looking at injury reports, he has a calf injury that's kept him out of practice.
Well, let's start there.
Jeez.
So, Deron Bland's not playing. We can establish that. Kalen Carson's going to start at one corner.
And keep in mind, you need 3 corners in this game for the entire game, as opposed to last week against San Francisco, where you don't have as many 3 wide receiver sets.
I don't see fullbacks in the Falcons' history, and they look like they go nickel 3 wides all the time.
They have no fullback on their roster, and they have 3 tight ends on their entire roster.
And you
they
need
use
somebody
them as a fullback.
And they know you need to be able to cover their tight end as if he's a
wide receiver. Yeah. So the tight end is Charlie Warner, who is the backup tight end, because Kyle Pitts is more of a hybrid.
Since they had to put Oruwariye on IR, who has started the last several games when they didn't use Carson, if there's no Diggs, there's only one last corner on the 53, other than Jordan Lewis, assuming he's in the slot. It's Andrew Booth, and he hasn't played since the first half of the Giants game. He played himself onto the inactive day list on game day. So to me, the next guy would be, judging from training camp, would be Josh Butler off.
My guy, Josh Butler TV, with 3.3 million subscribers on TikTok.
Mesquite West.
Why does he have so many? What's going on?
Because he's the one with the dogs, and and he does all the videos. I love Josh Butler. I love me some Josh Butler. Let's get him on the field.
So was it high school or college when they had senior day?
He was at Michigan State.
Michigan State. And he walked out when they introduced him with his dogs, because both parents passed away.
Like in his last year at Michigan State.
When he was a senior at Michigan State. So he walked out with his dogs.
And he
Now, I don't know.
COVID hits the next year.
Right.
So he's like 27 years old. And he went to L.A., and started he's got 2 degrees from Michigan State, and so started his career as an acting career or whatever. So he's living in L.A., and he establishes his whole social media presence. And then last year, he gets a call from the USFL Michigan Panthers, and he drives from Hollywood to Michigan to go play for them, and then gets picked up by the Cowboys during training camp, basically, last year.
Spent the year on the practice
squad, and then
I thought he nearly made the team. But he's back on the practice squad.
He's been on the practice squad this year, but no one's talked about him.
So we're talking, if he plays, it'll be his NFL debut.
Not bad.
So that would be next to your rookie, Kalen Carson.
So Mukuamu.
I think he's a backup choice and more of a guy that they've used. I mean, he got to play this last game when Diggs went out. So that kind of tells you about Andrew Booth, right? Because Mukuamu, basically a safety, went out and played corner.
Mukuamu.
Okay. Mukuamu.
So as a backup, yes. But I think Butler, because the only other guy is, what's the guy's name? Hall? Keemon Hall,
who had a
and he's
pick six in the preseason.
He's played
North
in the
Texas,
league, right? He's played.
He has. Yeah,
he has some experience.
He's more of a slot than he is an outside corner, though.
Yeah. So, but they would have to elevate him, and if you're going to and you only have one more, because if you're going to elevate Delvin Cooks, then you only get two, right? So, that would put him in a pretty big bind. And as we pointed out, Diggs has yet to practice. And the most I saw yesterday was he was working on the resistance cords. So he is, at this point, they haven't made a move? No, they haven't decided yet. Right. I mean, I'm sure they're going to push it till
And so if they elevate a corner.
They really don't have to say, because, I mean, they can leave them as doubtful.
Right, no moves to make.
And then put them on the inactive, game day inactive.
What will tip you off tomorrow is if they elevate a cornerback from the practice squad.
And probably have to either way, right? Just for
because
insurance.
So what if he tweaks it, early in the game or whatever?
So that's somewhat of a concern when you're going up against Kirk Cousins, who right now has the third most passing yards in the league, I read, and is fifth with his 14 touchdown passes.
So you were in there to watch Will McClay do his telestrator segment for the Mike McCarthy show, and he was talking about the weapons that the Falcons have. So what struck you about their weapons? Because he basically went through from Bijan Robinson in the backfield to Kyle Pitts at tight end to Drake London and Darnell Mooney at wide receiver. He went through all of them.
I think, and also Bates, right?
Yeah, on defense, Jesse Bates.
What he had to say about Bijan Robinson, his vision and his ability to put his foot in the ground and make a cut.
That's what I see.
And it
their
made
zone blocking scheme.
That's what I see.
It made an impression on me because everybody, when they talk about the Cowboys' running game, it's always about the running backs and their talent. But part of that talent has to be coordinating with the offensive line.
Of course.
And he had a run play. Does that show Sunday?
Yeah, well, and it may be available online right now.
He showed how
the show's Saturday night at 11:30 on CBS Texas.
That's a good one.
We'll find out then.
They showed how the run was supposed to go to the right, and Bijan could see there was a linebacker getting ready to fill the hole. He put his foot in the ground and went left.
Yeah.
And there was a hole there. And they weren't blocking for it. It's just the way. And the key block was the wide receiver.
Drake London got the safety.
Holding off the safety.
And there was a huge hole. So when we try to explain about the running back, it's not, just Rico Dowdle, Zeke and whatever, but it's what your offensive line is doing and the other guys, how they're blocking. It's, I keep trying to tell people, this is an 11-man thing here, right? It's the greatest team.
Someone made a note of it. I don't know if it was Troy's comments on X when he was talking about the wide receivers running routes. But I know someone mentioned how if you look at the receivers from the Ravens, they always block because they know there's a chance that Derrick Henry is going to be sprung.
It's funny you mentioned that because it's interesting because they just made the trade for Deontay Johnson from Carolina. And I love listening to Rich Gannon on Sirius NFL Radio. He's on there 3 times a week, and one of his pet peeves last year was the Steelers wide receivers, and he could not believe that the Steelers receivers, which included Deontay Johnson and George Pickens, how poor they were blocking.
Really?
And just didn't have a want to, and so the Steelers traded Deontay Johnson to Carolina. Well, how long has Deontay Johnson been at Carolina? Not long. Right. And now the Ravens have picked him up, and now you're talking about the Ravens wide receivers being able to block. Maybe he's changed his game where he's now blocking in the enough that or maybe the Ravens are so desperate for a wide receiver they're taking him. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting.
That's a culture. That is a culture. That's like if you're in Baltimore, this is what we do. We block for our running backs. I don't know if we have that here necessarily. I never really paid much attention to it, but if
the running back needs to get to the second level for a wide receiver, third level for a wide receiver
not
block
get
to
hit
matter.
at the line of scrimmage, right?
There hasn't been a lot of incentive here for a wide receiver to block downfield.
But
right?
but that's the key thing when they
just
throw
run off every play.
when they throw that smoke.
Well, he ain't getting here, so why would I block him?
when they throw the smoke screen, right? That's dependent on the other wide receiver making the block to spring them.
Yeah.
Or somebody that's loose to get the guy that was supposed to cover that wide receiver.
You better do it there because, first of all, that's your fellow wide receiver.
Right.
So you'd better protect him because eventually you're going to have to be in the same position.
So to answer your question, that's what made the biggest impression on me, not just his ability to run the ball, but his ability to see and not get in a hurry to go into the hole that ain't going to be there.
I tell you what, and I've seen him go into that hole too. Full speed ahead, and he can split that thing, man. That guy's he is impressive. He does, and he's not slowing down. He's not like abbreviating his stride. I mean, he's hitting it as if he's ready to go to the house.
Sort of what you saw last night with Mixon.
Yes.
He was running people over.
He was. Yes, he was. I would compare Bijan, and these were special moments back in the day. The way he hit the hole, the way that Tom Landry used to set up Tony Dorsett.
Are you going there?
Yeah. He hit the softness.
He's got that.
Hit the softness. He always said create the softness by, you kind of wait. It's almost like a dive bomber in an airplane. You wait, and then you hit it. I remember him kept saying, hit that softness, hit the softness.
And how about Dorsett's vision?
Ooh, man. He was once he got in the secondary, it was crazy, little hawk, because he could see it all. He's just like a hawk. That's right.
Not to mention his speed.
Yeah.
Well, Bijan hits it with that same explosiveness. That's what it
that's what you're talking
me of,
about.
that old school way of hitting that line, man. I hadn't seen that in a while.
All right, we got much more to get to as we preview Cowboys-Falcons in a moment here on Mick Shots, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pregame sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste and only great taste.
The Miller Brewing Company would like to issue a correction. Miller Lite is brewed to be less filling. What are you doing here?
Miller Lite tastes great.
Look, I'm just reading the script. It says less filling.
That's not what my script says.
Well, mine says.
We'd like to apologize for the previous announcers. Miller Lite is in fact less filling and tastes great. Time to shine, legal guy.
Celebrate responsibly. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer. 96 calories and 3.2 grams carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
Back to Mick Shots.
Stay connected with the Dallas Cowboys on your connected TV. Catch up on all Cowboys content like player interviews, weekly TV shows, podcasts, docuseries like Deep Blue, and much more. Download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV.
walked back in here.
You didn't have
during
to
the
slow
break
down just to get Bill here back.
You know
in
what,
time.
though? I thought that it was kind of an easy listening Saturday morning. You could be a DJ on, like
at
you know that late night thing.
the Oasis.
Yes, boy, what are you talking about? I used to love that. Man.
Me too.
I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole here. Gene Fugit.
I love Gene Fugit.
Gene
Fugit, that's right.
Used
You talk
to be
about a musician.
at the University of North Texas. Well, they were North Texas State at the time, and they were into the jazz bands.
Oh yeah, because they had the best jazz bands in college.
They had the best jazz band.
Right?
That's right. So Gene Fugit was a DJ from 9 p.m. to midnight.
Was he
back
really?
when I was in probably a sophomore in high school, because that's when I first started listening to jazz. So Gene Fugit was my hero, because here he is playing for the Cowboys and also DJing at night.
That is greatness.
I thought that was the coolest thing ever for someone to be doing that from the Dallas Cowboys.
Sort of like Walt Garrison playing football and doing
rodeo. Yeah.
He wasn't your hero.
Man, if I was a rodeo guy, now come on, I'd be all over Walt Garrison, because he was still one of my heroes as well, being a Dallas Cowboy.
Remember they used to Saturday night. They used to have that late night, like 11:30 or 12. This sweet jazz or cool jazz.
No, it's
there was a show.
Flight Time.
Flight Time.
Flight Time. Yes,
Okay.
I'm just telling you that was Gene Fugit, and as you get to know
before my
more
time
about him,
here.
if you get to know more about him, then of course you knew that he was from some Ivy League school. Was it Cornell? Where did he go to school?
He earned his Juris Doctor degree at George Washington University Law School. Where did he go undergraduate? Amherst College, Massachusetts.
So yeah, he was, uber intelligent, and man, he was so cool. And once again, he started me to listening to jazz music.
Wow,
and it's crazy, man. Because my sisters went to UNT, so that was always a connection there. Gene Fugit.
Gene Fugit took over Beatrice International Foods, the largest black-owned and black-managed business in the United States at the time. At the peak, TLC Beatrice had $2.2 billion in sales and was number 512 on Fortune magazine's list of 1,000 largest.
Well, you know how he got that, right? I could be mistaken, but that was when Reggie Lewis died.
Okay.
And Reggie's wife didn't have the wherewithal to continue, and I think he and Reggie were college, not teammates necessarily.
Well, his older brother was Reginald Lewis, so maybe it's a different. Let's see.
You don't get this anywhere else.
That's
by
right.
the way,
man. Because you remember Reggie died from brain cancer. This was one of the richest black men in the world, and I thought that Gene just knew him. I didn't know if there was a relation or not.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we need to do more research
man,
here.
we got to do research on that one. Man.
We'll be back with that on Monday.
Right? Yeah, because it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while. Oh man!
All right,
get back to
very good.
Later,
Y'all need to carry on. I'm going to continue reading
it's
up on it.
It's very interesting. Yeah, it's extremely
So
interesting.
do you want to know if Deron Bland's going to play?
Who cares, man? We're talking about 1975.
Well, who would have thought Gene Fugit and Reginald Lewis were related?
And if it's the Reginald Lewis, man, that's amazing. That is amazing.
Okay, all right.
Because once again, he was a man. Reggie Lewis was the man, the man.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, I got
no. The answer to
my
that
mind is
that answer to that is
I
no.
gotta look up some more stuff.
Is Micah Parsons going to play?
Who cares?
No.
Okay. We're back to that.
Sorry. So Deron Bland.
Yeah,
no.
He hadn't practiced. Micah hasn't practiced.
Mm-hmm.
And neither is Trayvon.
Trayvon hasn't practiced.
So what does that mean?
DeMarcus
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Okay, you've got this standard.
DeMarcus Lawrence and Marshawn Nealon on the resistance.
Wait. I'm digging in on Trayvon here.
Oh.
Okay, because you said Mike is not playing because he hadn't practiced. And
yeah, but he hadn't practiced
Bland
in 6
isn't
weeks.
Playing because
and he hasn't practiced
so
in
Diggs
8
hasn't
weeks.
practiced either. So let's get
he hasn't
not all
practiced in 2 days.
Not all DNPs are the same.
That's right.
But
right.
Diggs has been playing.
Right.
They have not.
Those two hadn't been playing.
Just because he's
forever.
DNP'd the last 2 days does not mean Trayvon's not playing
But we'll
Sunday.
see how they list him this afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if, like you said, if they bring up another
on Saturday, right?
Yeah, we'll know that Saturday.
We'll see.
So
got to check
which is
those
tomorrow,
things.
guys.
Yes,
that's right.
Okay.
There's like a game coming up in 2 days.
Yeah.
And it's an early game.
Noon.
It's one of those rare
man.
noon kickoffs, Dallas time.
We don't do well in noon.
But it's going to be good because
on the road,
it's on the Eastern time zone, and the clock is.
Oh yeah, we're
them.
falling back.
It's falling back, so it'll
So we're
be
changing time.
normal.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
It'll be normal for them switching
Should
time
we like go
zones.
into
That
another
means Mickey,
diatribe?
you can have a big night on Saturday night in Atlanta.
Yeah,
you got an extra hour to party on Saturday night
you
in
can go
Atlanta.
to what's the strip joint out there? All the guys go to the strip joint out there.
It was the place it was the place they imported women for the Super Bowl that year.
Oh yes, that's correct. And they're known for their lemon pepper wings, if I'm not mistaken.
At the strip joints?
Yeah, you can ask Lou Williams about that with the LA Clippers, because during the pandemic he got busted because he was supposed to be.
That's right.
Yeah, he was supposed to be behind closed doors, and he got busted by being at the strip joint when all the other players are supposed to be.
Like curfew?
Yeah, they had
this
this is during the 2020, so this is during the pandemic. He
The
was like,
bubble?
I gotta get my wings. He had to go get his wings.
He had to get wings.
Just wings.
Just
yes.
wings.
Just wings, according to him.
Lap dances? No, just wings.
No, I just came for the wings. Sorry, lady. I'm good. Thank you.
All right. I don't think that was on your legal page.
No, we digressed.
Wow, we have really digressed today.
And Brandon Cooks isn't playing either.
Yeah.
This is his last game.
He'll be playing against
inactive.
Philadelphia
next
week.
Oh, my goodness.
So that helps.
So okay, we're still talking ramp up. So when we're talking ramp up, we're not talking a week. We're just talking a couple of days. When you're talking about guys coming off and say Cooks, for instance.
Yeah.
We're talking,
at least he's running, so he should and had been playing, although playing through a sore knee that happened in training camp. So that would be good. Because I think I figured out that after you got past Jalen Tolbert, the guys doing the 3 and 4 receivers or third receiver have totaled in their career 19 catches, and 12 of them are Turpins.
So basically, what the Cowboys are doing next week, they're trading for Brandon Cooks at wide receiver.
Exactly.
You like that trade?
Okay.
They're trading for Brandon Cooks because he's coming off IR.
Yeah.
That's the addition that they will make at the wide receiver position.
That's safe.
Can't
get safer than that.
As a matter of fact, you mentioned Jerry. What he said was, if I see something, we always look for the meat on the bone to improve the team.
So he's out there doing his thing, huh?
Right.
Jerry's out there, taking a look and saying, putting his own words in.
I'll guarantee you,
they'll answer the phone. Let's
Yes.
put it that way. They'll answer the phone if someone calls.
And that's what you're hoping for, right? Because if you're calling, then it's going to cost. If someone's calling you, then you get a sweetheart deal. Although I don't know at this point, this isn't like baseball where people just unload because they're not going to get in the playoffs, right? I mean, you can get in the playoffs at 9-8, so it's a little early to give up.
But okay, think of this from the perspective of another team. And when you look at the Cowboys roster and the lack of depth and tradable parts, okay, who are they calling for?
Oh, from the
like
Cowboys?
another team. Who are they calling for on this Cowboys roster?
Oh no,
because the Cowboys don't have.
They're looking for draft choices if they're unloading a veteran player, and they're also looking for somebody to take a salary.
So that's
which is the other thing in this whole thing.
That's the tradable part the Cowboys have is a draft pick,
right?
That's
like what Baltimore did, sending a 5th rounder to Carolina for Deontay Johnson.
And you got to be able to afford the guy.
Receivers.
And and what they're probably doing is trading the guy in the last year of his contract. So how much do you want to pay for renting a guy for 10 games? That's the other thing you got to factor in. And then how much it costs. So you got to have the cap space, but you also have to not use, because you could use some of that cap space next year when you really need it. Now, if you spend it this year, then it better be for somebody that can make a huge impact.
Because you have a choice of saying, okay, are we throwing in the towel on this season?
Right.
Or not?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
No. How many teams last year were like Green Bay and the Saints both finished 9-8? Mm-hmm. One of them was going to get in the playoffs. And did.
Unfortunately.
And won a game.
Yeah, they sure
What
did.
if the unspeakable happens and you lose on Sunday and you're 3-5?
But you still have more players coming back.
Mm-hmm.
You do. That's right.
I mean, I don't know how much longer you can hang on to that.
And you've only played one division game against the Giants.
And you
the
won.
last place team.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And you're going in, you'll know a lot more in 3 weeks after Atlanta when you play Philadelphia. And by the way, a Houston team that is now appears to be beatable.
Man.
When their quarterback got sacked 8 times last night.
Yeah, what did I read?
And then Washington after that.
For those guys.
So they've lost 2 of their last 3, right? Houston. I think I wrote that down somewhere. Yeah. Lost 2 of their last 3.
Close game at Green Bay they lost.
The Jets had lost like 5 in a row.
And their one win was against an Indianapolis team that the Colts decided they needed to change out their quarterback this week after Anthony Richardson's performance last week.
Got tired.
I saw some DBs for Houston getting left at the line of scrimmage by Jets wide receivers.
You see the matchup when they got Devontae Adams on Jalen Petrie, and
there was no matchup.
Aaron Rodgers just lofted that ball deep. And
well, it happened.
It wasn't even a good pass.
He just had to. Just throw it out there.
Yeah.
Let him run.
It was the same guy.
He was so open, he had to wait and still score.
It was the same guy trying to cover Adams on the one of the previous passes. Remember, Petrie's
a safety, and so they got the matchup pre-snap, basically. The matchup play they wanted on that touchdown, and that's why Rodgers knew all he had to do was just heave it deep.
Is that why he? My goodness.
Yeah.
Because he did not play that well at all. He did not play it as the way a corner should play it, a good corner.
Yeah, he's a safety. Petrie is.
Well, that was one of the best.
He's a really good safety.
Rodgers had
he doesn't have the speed to play.
Garrett came
Adams.
to play. Let's just say that. Garrett came to play.
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Rodgers has a little exasperation with Adams on the one he threw, and it was it a 4th down play or a 3rd down play?
The one where
it was kind of low,
and
he
should have caught that.
He got to catch that.
Yeah, he's got to catch that.
He got the side eye look from Rodgers.
That was a desperate Jets team. It's a desperate Cowboys team going into Atlanta, isn't it?
Right. You don't want to get to 3-5 because that's a tough hole to dig out of. And I'll save this when we make our picks.
All right. And that's coming up next here on Mick Shots.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages, with pregame sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Back to Mick Shots.
Support military members, veterans, and their families with the 2024 Salute to Service collection, from camo patterned hoodies and hats to gear proudly showing off the Dallas Cowboys star alongside the Stars and Stripes. This collection is more than just football. Visit a Dallas Cowboys pro shop near you or log on to shop.dallascowboys.com, a Fanatics experience, and join our mission.
All right, it's about time to make our picks to click, our picks to win on Sunday at noon in Atlanta. But, Mickey, you were in the middle of saying something. Is that related to your pick, or is there something you wanted to add before we make our picks?
Related to my pick.
Yeah, you got to wait for him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going
All right.
Bully?
No, I'm giving you I want to give you the last one, but of course Bill always has to be last, even though this is Mick Shots.
I need to.
I don't know how that worked out, but Bill kind of finagled his way into that.
That's because I've got to put the exclamation point on whatever it is.
I need to find the score the last time the Cowboys beat Atlanta, right?
Oh,
that'll be
that'll be my.
Yeah,
it was like 40-3
He
or
was
something.
very quiet during the break, so I'm pretty sure he looked it up. There's something going on.
If he picks 40-3, you know he's not being serious.
All right, well, Cowboys can win this game, guys. They can actually win this game, and if they're going to win this game, they're still. I'm sorry, I know it's like beating your head up against the wall, but we have to establish a running game against this Falcons defense. So I wanted to pick maybe an offensive lineman that could, or maybe the entire offensive line to be my picks to click, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with my man. I still like him. He needs to show me a little bit more toughness, a little bit more awareness. My boy Ferguson.
Jake Ferguson.
He's got to come through for me. I didn't like how he got pushed around in the last game. You know, you can't be standing out of bounds when your quarterback's trying to throw you the ball. You know, things like that. He seemed to be a little bit overwhelmed in the last game. I'm going to give him another shot this time. Cowboys are going to be very balanced in this game. I look for us to win this game 28-20.
28-20.
28-20.
4 touchdowns?
Yes.
Okay.
4 touchdowns.
All right.
I didn't say how they're going to happen. I didn't say they were going to all be on offense all because of the running game. I didn't say that, but I look for us to win 28-20.
They were within a possession of putting up 4 last time, right?
Against a good team.
If they had scored that last possession.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't, because then I'm actually glad they didn't, because this guy would have been.
Yeah, you would have been at the airport greeting
He would have called me, hey, Everson, they get in. I know Mickey said that they land, come on.
And there is a camera here.
All right, so Mickey, better be good. You teased it.
I do. I've got 2 factors here in the Cowboys' favor. First of all, these Dallas Cowboys do not lose 3 games in a row. As a matter of fact, the last time they did that, it was 4 straight in 2020.
That was not a good year.
A lot of stuff happened.
And that was COVID, right?
Right.
So they've lost 2 straight now twice, and then the first time they won the next game. So now it's time to win the next game, and they've beaten the Falcons. So last week we made a big deal of San Francisco beating the Cowboys the last 3 times they faced. Well, the Cowboys have beaten the Falcons the last 3 times they've played. So I've got the Cowboys by the unpredictable score of 25-23.
Wow. Where the hell did that
How
come
you
from?
arriving at 25 points?
I would have picked 26 over 25.
Somewhere along the line, there's going to be a 2-point conversion or something.
Or a safety. They're going to win on
or
a safety.
Right? And I am going to select another long shot, the committee. Running backs.
Okay.
All together.
Yeah.
They're going to run the football in this game.
They have to. They have to.
They really have.
You got to come up with a blocking scheme.
They
Coaches
have
got
really
to do their
little
job.
choice.
Right.
Because they got to keep Kirk Cousins off the field. Especially if Diggs can't play.
Very good. All right, I'll take you back in history.
Here we go.
What was the best game Danny White played in his career?
1980.
Against?
Atlanta Falcons.
There you go.
Big comeback.
In the playoffs.
Yeah. First round?
It was the divisional playoff round. That's exactly right. Right before Everson, it was second to last game before Everson Walls became a Cowboy.
That's right. I was watching it at home.
The most memorable Cowboys game in Atlanta in history. It was January 4th, 1981. The Cowboys trailed the Atlanta Falcons by 2 touchdowns in the second half, but they were down 27-17. Danny White brings the Cowboys back with a touchdown pass to Drew Pearson after a 3-and-out. It's Danny White to Drew Pearson again, a drive that started with 1:47 left in the game, and in the final minute, a touchdown pass of 23 yards as the Cowboys were just getting in position to kick a tying field goal. But instead, it's Danny White to number 88, Drew Pearson. And on Sunday, back in Atlanta, it will be Dak Prescott to number 88, CeeDee Lamb. The game-winning touchdown for a 30-27 Cowboys win, just like January 4th.
That was nice.
1981. The pick to click.
CeeDee Lamb.
We'll go with Danny White. Dak Prescott.
I thought Dak was off limits.
The new Dak.
Oh, is Dak off limits?
No.
Because he's not playing well, right?
No one's off limits. No one is off limits. Not now. No one is.
It is funny that I've mentioned what was the best game in Danny White's career, and you came up with that one in Atlanta.
You know why I came up with that?
Because we knew we were playing in Atlanta?
No.
Oh.
Because the Cowboys secondary was so bad that year.
That they had to sign you as a rookie free.
That they had to draft Everson Walls after the draft was over.
After the draft. When they came to me and said, you got 3 teams, I said, I can make the Cowboys because I have seen their cornerbacks. And there
Who was playing corner?
Steve Wilson and Aaron Mitchell.
No, come on. Seriously?
Yeah. Look it up.
Yeah, look it up. Look it up. Now
I don't know if Steve got in the game, but I know Aaron Mitchell was the one that was having major issues. And the thing about that is Mitch was a safety. He was not a corner.
That's what I thought.
He was, they played him at corner. That was the whole problem because they didn't have, at that time, and I believe in that game, Charlie Waters was not playing because he was commentating the game. And I believe that's when you got to believe.
Yeah, because that was a 70.
You got to believe.
Yeah, because he had a broken leg.
You got to believe. And he came back and.
No, it was the. Yeah,
no, that was 79.
79, and that was the Washington game. The
that was the Got to Believe when they. Yeah, the Washington
game. The last game of the regular season.
So true. So true. That was
Aaron
that was a hell of a game. Too.
Aaron Mitchell was the starter at right corner.
That's when Tony Hill caught the winning touchdown.
Yeah, that's right.
And then
oh, man, what a great
left
day
corner, Steve Wilson started 10 games, and Benny Barnes, who was a safety, right? Started 6 at corner.
They were in such dire straits at cornerback, and I had just led the nation in interceptions at corner. So doggone well, I'm thinking, man, I can make my Cowboys team if I just get a shot. And my dream came true in a very unnecessary manner. I thought they'd draft me. I didn't think they'd get me cheap. But then as I got here, I realized that everything was cheap.
They also had Dennis Thurman playing free safety.
Free safety.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Dennis was a safety. Dennis came in as a safety.
Well, next year it looked like they moved him to cornerback.
They had to because, once again, Steve Wilson and Aaron Mitchell were the only ones that we had out there. They moved Dennis Thurman out of necessity. It was not because he asked it. Dennis Thurman did not like playing cornerback. Dennis Thurman was forced into playing cornerback.
So what happened with Aaron Kyle?
Aaron Kyle I think he was out after that.
Because he started in 79.
Yeah.
They gave up on him.
Yeah. And that was 2 years of frustration at cornerback for the Cowboys. So I'm telling you.
Playing Benny Barnes and Aaron Kyle in the corner.
It was tough, man.
But
no wonder you made the team.
Well, in this game, the starting corners in this game.
I'd be calculating, Spags.
The starting corners in that game against Atlanta were Benny Barnes and Aaron Mitchell.
2 safeties.
And Charlie Waters did play at strong safety and did his third at free safety.
Okay.
So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So you were on semester break watching from home?
It was Christmas time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it was January 4th. So I came home and I saw that and that's the first thing came to my mind that following spring when they said, hey, we got Buffalo and we got the Saints and we got the Cowboys. I didn't know much about any of those other teams, but I know damn well I could have made the Cowboys.
And you heard Buffalo, and that was out.
I ain't going up there. Not from Texas. I knew I wasn't going there. The Saints had, they were the Aints. They had bags on their heads at that time.
I saw some jet bags last night.
Turned out to be a hell of a defense, though, by the Saints after 1981, because that's when they drafted Ricky Jackson, and they had shored up that linebacker crew with Sam Mills. And number 56, Mouse. That came in his name. So, yeah. I could have gone to the Saints. That would have worked out well, but no, everything worked out just as it was supposed to.
Now, Producer Supreme has big plans in Atlanta tomorrow night.
What's he got?
He's going to go watch the greatest footballer, as he put it, the greatest footballer ever.
Soccer?
Yeah, I was going to say soccer.
Messi is playing in Atlanta in a playoff game tomorrow night, right across the street from the hotel, right in the same stadium. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
He's back.
He's back.
I'm back.
All right.
I'm back, baby.
We wanted to close the show with this because Mickey, Producer Supreme, says he has an extra ticket to the game. Would you like to accompany him to the game?
I did not say that. Not say that.
You didn't say that? I thought that's what you said.
I'll give Ed Cahill, my boy, a shout out. He hooked me up.
Well,
nice.
And even if you did, you were safe.
He ain't going.
He ain't going.
Okay, well, I tried for you there, Producer Supreme.
Mickey probably doesn't like soccer.
Yeah, you were hoping that Mickey would go with you, but okay,
not even
happening.
for Lionel Messi.
I would.
All right.
I would.
Okay, that does it
like
for
watching Pele.
Mix Shots for another week, and we will shout at you after a Cowboys win on a Fight Song Monday here on Mix Shots.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?